Alright, so let's continue this up. So now we got them both in their robot modes. And, let's talk about transformation first. Well, actually, before we get into that, first off, remember, these guys are not mine. People have been asking me to sell Maketoys 1. These aren't mine. These are the giveaway figures. So I will be announcing the winners of these guys later on this week. I want to make sure I get everything done with them first. And then announce the winner and get these things all boxed back up and sent out to the prospective winners. So, good luck to everybody. And, so, and I'll probably just announce the winners at the same time. And then the other thing I wanted to go over is in the review for the Maketoys Megatron, everyone's saying that there's a way to fix the leg. Now, I watched Kuba Style's review, or leg fix on it. What you got to do, and because this is not my figure, I will not be doing this because I don't want to break it. You got to remove this red panel here, and then you got to remove this black panel here. Now, when he removed his, there's 3 little pegs at the bottom, all of which are glued. He snapped off one of the pegs, and now you can tell that while it goes on there just fine, it seems like, but it's not nearly as sturdy as it is here. So, with that being said, I'm not going to be doing that because I don't want to risk breaking someone else's toy. So yeah, if I end up with one myself, I will definitely do that. And everyone also mentioned that you can spin the top of this barrel here to hide the screw hole. So you can do that if you want to. I mean, it's not that big of a deal to me. I wasn't complaining about it. So, but my complaint is still the leg. People are saying that it wasn't it's not a design flaw, it's a assembly error, which, whatever. They're trying to rush it out because the announcement of the MP one and then also competition. So I would still fault the company for it because they rushed it out. They didn't finish it. They just wanted to get in, stay in the game. Whatever. Anyway, so, transformation. So now that I've transformed both of them a couple times, his transformation is a little bit more of a bear than his. Like I said, I've had a little bit more time to really mess with it. There's certain tolerances on this guy, because I've had 2 different copies of him now. And each one had different issues with tolerances. So there is this tolerance issues on certain points of it that make it really difficult to transform at times. But it's still very clever and it still works pretty well. His is really clever. It's got some really great engineering aspects to it. But the big but to him is the fact that it doesn't quite work out very well in gun mode. He definitely still has the better gun mode, and you can tell that because the transformation makes it smoother. Whereas his transformation makes that gun mode, especially the handle, seem a little messy. So they both have their ups, they both have their downs, so I'm not going to give a point to either one of them for transformation. They're both clever. And like his, where like the left arm becomes the back of the gun and the right arm becomes the front of the gun. It's clever. You don't see that very often. The way the legs transform and fold out. The way this guy folds is clever. I love that, like when you squeeze it at a certain angle, it like completely reforms the arm into a smaller piece that you can get into what you need. So I think they both have their benefits. They both have their downsides to their transformation, but they're both transformable. That's the key point that I'm trying to make about the X Transbot, is the fact that they both can transform, and there's no issue there. You can transform them multiple times and get them back into bot mode. There's a few parts of each of them where you're like, ugh, a little aggravated, but at the end of the day, it still works better, and you're not risking breaking the figure. So, Poseability. So let's see here. Head is on the swivel and hinge up and down. So good range of motion there. His is a ball joint. So he tops that just a little bit. Arm can get out to there. Ratchet it up and down. This is going to be kind of a pain to try and do these both. Ratchet it up and down. And he has a little bit better posability. As you can see, this doesn't quite hold as well as I want it to. Bicep swivel, bends at the elbow, gets a pretty good bend there. And then the hands rotate. Fingers, bottom 3 fingers are in 1 hinge, top fingers on 2 hinges. Whereas he, shoulder goes out to there, so he's got a little bit more posability there. Bicep swivel, excuse me, bends at the elbow. He does have a double bend, so it's about equal. This one looks a little bit more natural, but only by a hair. Slight margin. Wrist swivels, and then the hand is on that where they all can move here at this knuckle. And then this one's got 2 points of articulation on top of that. So this fingers has 3. And then each of the fingers here, they can bend at 2 other places as well. But the way it's designed, it's just like there's a hinge there, there's a hinge there. So it's not like each finger's individually articulated. It's just, I think it looks cool. Now the thumb is on a swivel, and then it's got 2 hinges to it. It works, but I kind of feel like I'm not quite getting the full range I want it to. Like if you want to do like a thumbs up pose, that's what you kind of get, and I don't quite like that. So while the fingers themselves are better on him than him, the thumb is better on him because it's just kind of stationary. So there you go. Waist on him. Oh yeah, you got to move the skirting out of the way. So he does have a waist swivel, but it's underneath his skirt. So soft ratchet, moves pretty smoothly. His waist, as you see, this thing still is not holding up very well. His waist is that really tight swivel that leaves me a little concerned. I don't like the way that's designed in there. Thighs, ratchet up and down, in and out. Thigh swivel, bends at the knee, nice, good bend, gets you what you need. And then the foot is on a rocker and tilt. I think it's on like 2 rockers and a tilt. Him, we can move the skirting out of the way. Nice ratchet up and down. Nice ratchet in and out. That is a nice solid ratchet. I like that. Thigh swivel. It's a little tight, which is making you kind of break up other aesthetics, but you know, it works. Double bend knee, so you get a much better range of motion there. Foot is on a rocker, and it's got a tilt in there as well. So ultimately, I'm going to have to. It's by a very slim margin, again. Like I said, I like his fingers better. His waist is better than his because you don't have to move the skirt out of the way to get to it. Only downside is that it's super tight. That might just be this copy, though. His knees are better posed. So I'm going to have to give it to Maketoys for Poseability. And like I said, it's a very slight upper hand there. Very slight. try and look up cost on them real quick, because I, of course, didn't do that. I'm never prepared all the way. Come on, where is it? Skip ahead to cost. The DX9 Megatron is $129, so $130. Maketoys is $146. So we're talking a matter of what, $16. Technically, DX9 wins. So I guess I'll give them a point for cost. But it's so very close that it's. And what was it? I think Apollyon was $129 or something like that at first, and then they bumped up the price because they realized people were buying it. So they upped the price on it. So, yeah. Let's see. Weapons and accessories. So they both have the big cannon. Now this, as far as the cannon goes, it's going to go straight to aesthetics. What you prefer. I, for one, prefer this cannon. I like how it can fold up a little bit better. This is the cannon I kind of imagine Megatron to have. This one is a little bit too long for my personal preference, but they both are exactly what you want them to be. They're both big cannons stuck to the side of his arm. Now, other accessories. Let's talk about other accessories. So, they both come with the mace. So we got this one for DX9, and then this one for Maketoys. So the Maketoys ones is bigger. They both have real chain. This one's got like metallic purple on there, but they didn't paint this purple. So it's like almost feels unfinished when it comes to that. You know, if you're gonna go silver, go silver. If you're gonna go purple, go purple. Don't do half and half. So yeah, this guy's got the bigger chain and stuff. Now this one, I believe. Let me try this real quick. I believe you can get this on either side. Yeah. So yeah, either side you can plug this in on either side, and it will, and you can hold it. As far as I can tell, you can only plug this in on the one side on him, and that's the cannon arm. So looks cooler, less effective because you can only use it one hand. Not quite as cool, but more effective. DX9 also comes with the sword that he could hold. And then he also comes with this bit here, which you can extend out, plug this in, and then you can take this apart and it becomes like a scythe for the terror. Somehow. I don't know. I don't have terror. I don't want terror. He's not really in my need to have collection at the moment, but you never know. But yeah, somehow it becomes like a scythe, and yeah, you can cut stuff up. Yeah, so he does have more weapons than the Maketoys one, but yeah, whatever. And then we come to the faces. So you get the stock face on the DX9 one, and then you got the slightly angry face. And then Maketoys, you've got right here you got the maniacal face on there now. And then you got, you know, angry face. You got a stoic face and the smirky face. So, honestly, with weapons, I'm going to say Maketoys edges out DX9 when it comes to the different faces. DX9 edges out Maketoys when it comes to the actual weapons. So they both get a point in this one. Or they should neither get a point. I don't know. I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and give them a point for transformation each and weapons each. Scale, you know, as you can see, they're pretty much the same size as each other. This guy's got a little bit more style. Well, we'll get to the style later. This guy seems to be a little, well, it's hard to say. Like, he's got the thicker legs. He's got thinner legs, but they both are kind of accurate. It's a tough call. But when it comes to scale, at the end of the day, it's how do they look with Optimus here. And both of them look like an imposing villain for Optimus. Definitely, easily could say either one could take him. Either one could fight him. So I would definitely give them both a scale point. Durability. They're both pretty durable. They both got a good amount of die cast in them. Now, like, I mean, we could do a shake test, you know, it's nothing really happens. I mean, they hold their form pretty well, and then like him, big problem is, as you can see, some things that get a little floppy here, and then the back cannon just is not holding up as well as it should. See, but I mean, a little bit of super glue or nail polish and you can have that fixed right up. Not a problem at all. So, shouldn't have to fix a $150 figure, but you know, it is what it is. Most definitely is what it is. So I'm gonna have to give it to DX9 with the durability. I think he's a little bit better built. As you can see, you know, he's got some tolerance issues. He's got tolerance issues too, but not ones that, you know, cause things to flop. Of course, now it's not going to flop. And he also doesn't have this issue with his legs. You know, his legs will not slide in for two reasons. One, they tolerance them well, and two, the only way that they slide down is first you have to undo the thigh to make it small enough to actually slide in, and then it can slide down. So while it's up here and you got the thigh transformed, it doesn't slide down. There's no way for it to go. There's no room for it to fit in there. So he holds his robot mode better than he does. So I do have to give it to DX9 for durability. Now let's go with style. Okay. Now he looks very much like he kind of came right off the screen. I would say. I think he looks really, really close to that. He's got a little bit more stylized elements to him. Where I wish I had a standard MP10 for this. But he's got a little bit more stylized where it looks like a little bit more of a cross in between the cartoon and the modern toy. Which means, like, the more current Masterpiece figures are getting more to, they look like they came right off the screen, like him. But the big kicker for me on this is just MP10 is more like while he does look like he's walked off the screen, he's got more modern elements to him as well. More modern engineering and such. which makes him seems like have more detail than more like Shockwave or Ironhide. He definitely has more like just more stuff to him. Whereas that is where this one is more or less coming from, in my opinion. If you are looking for a great Megatron for your Decepticon shelf, the DX9 one is a great option. But if you're looking for a Megatron to stand right next to Optimus and look good together, I would say the Maketoys one does edge him out just a little bit. And a big part of that are these eyes on this face. These metallic red eyes. Because the regular MP10 has those metallic blue eyes that really pop. He's just got red eyes. And they look good. Don't get me wrong. They look great. But his pop a lot more. He looks just so much more menacing. The blacks on him are a little bit more glossy. In some areas. And he cleans up a lot better. He cleans up like MP10 cleans up. I mean, you know, they clean up a lot better. So, as far as style goes, I have to give it to Maketoys. I think they really did do like what they always do, and make a really good looking figure. It has flaws, yes, but at the end of the day, you know, so does DX9. All right, so let's count them up. Let's see who has won when it comes to this. We got DX9 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points. Maketoys has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. Yeah, and yeah. The funny thing is, the only reason why they're not tied is the cost. He's $16 cheaper. $16. So there's your true assessment. This is the fairest way I can sit here and compare these two. Is he is $16 less than he is. So you need to decide to yourself: are you going to spend an extra $16 for a figure that looks a little bit more stylized, or a figure that is really good? They're both really good figures. They're both excellent options. X-Transbot is not an option. The Leader Class Megatron, it's an option if you're looking for a place filler. And I know there's going to be a Takara one coming up, or at least that's the rumor. So you need to decide, like, do you want to jump on one of these guys, or do you want to wait for the other one? They're excellent figures. They both have their frustrations. And the only reason why this guy gets a slightly stronger recommend is because of the cost, and that is literally $16. That's it. I mean, that's the big difference. $16. I mean, if they're the same cost, I would honestly be just saying they're tied. They're equal. I think figure wise, in hand, they are equal. If his legs didn't do what they do, and that cannon didn't do what it did, I would sit here and I'd probably sit here and tell you that he is the better option. Now I know you can fix the leg. You shouldn't have to fix the leg on a figure like that. I'm not going to do it because it's not my figure. And I know you can fix the cannon. You know, again, things you shouldn't have to do for a $150 figure, but whatever. But yeah, there you go. I think this is a case of where, you know, having two companies doing the same character at the same time is a good thing, because now you have the option of choosing which one you want. You know, you don't have to be like, oh, well, X-Transbots is the only option, so I have to get it. You don't have to do that. You can pick one or the other. So it all just boils down to what your opinion is on the figures. There's no clear winner here. I personally prefer the DX9 one. That would be my Megatron for my collection. That I'm probably going to buy it unless I can find the Maketoys one for cheap. And there's another thing, you know, it's like now the X Transbots one is going for dirt cheap, so you can pick him up pretty easily. And then the X Transbot one, and then I'm sure everyone's going to be leaning more towards Maketoys than they are going to be going for DX9. So here in a few months, maybe we'll have the DX9 one on clearance. So there's another thing to think about. So yeah, like I said, I don't think there's a clear winner here. They're both great options. I highly recommend either one of them. You cannot go wrong. I'm just trying to see if... Ouch. Maybe. Nope. They're not quite the right size. Let's see here. Like, you could get the DX9 one on the Maketoys one. Doesn't hold very well, but you could. That looks better. Actually, I like that a lot better. So yeah. Yeah. So it's up to you. Make your choice. But just know, I will support your decision either way you go. These are good figures. I just wish I could put a Decepticon logo right there, but they're not mine. Okay.